Alright guys, I finally got my hands on the endless 90-110 frames. Alright, boom, this is it. It's pretty simple. Comes in a pretty simple box, just one load. This is endless blading, some protective foam. Before we get started, we're going to talk about the technical specs. So these are made of 6061 T6 aluminum. They're machined. They come with 8 genuine Seva 345 axles. So these are actually Seva axles here. They weigh a total of 275 grams, and that's without the spacers or the axles. The wheelbase is 276 millimeters, and these can fit 90 by 4 with the natural rocker or 3 by 110. All right, so let's actually take them out now. First, get this stuff out of the way. So let's take a closer look at them, see what they look like. So this is them. It's pretty simple design, not too much branding. The wheel sizes, the logo for Endless right there. Pretty basic. Just small indentation here and a line. See the mounts right there. You can see the mounting points. It's pretty basic as far as your aluminum frames go. The axle's threaded right into the frame. And let's just talk about what this frame is supposed to be. So this frame actually has two setup options. I spoke about them briefly before. So it either goes 4 by 90, 1, 2, 3, 4. But what's special is actually that there's a slight rocker to this setup. So it's almost like a Wizard-esque per se. This is the standard 165 mount or 160 mount. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. And the Wizards are UFS only. So this fits on your standard free skates like Seba or Micro or Rollerblade. The rocker on it is very slight. From what I understand, it's actually only 1 millimeter. These are 1 millimeter higher, so you have a slight rocker. You don't have to feel it too much. If anything, it'll feel like when you have like broken in wheels, because naturally when you skate your skates, this kind of happens anyways. The rear wheel and the front wheel tend to get burned out more. So it'll have this smoother feel straight out of the box. And when you run as a tri-skate, it's flat with the outsides and the inside. So these three are leveled. It's these two that stick out slightly more by a millimeter. They make it rockered. So when you use these three holes, it becomes a flat tri-skate that fits 110 millimeters. I guess let's put this together. So the wheels I'm going to be using are hydrogen 90 millimeters. I have the inline warehouse brand ones right now because it was like really short notice and they were out of the regular rollerblade ones. But for understand they're the same exact wheels, they just put some inline warehouse branding on them. And because of that, they're slightly cheaper. That's gonna wear off pretty fast anyways, so I don't really care. All right, let's put these together. I also have some inline warehouse bearings. Like I said, this was pretty last second, so I ordered whatever to get these going. So let's set this up. Unfortunately, these do not come with spacers, but I always have some spacers lying around. So here are the Seva axles. They're provided. They're literally axles from Seva, so they're gonna be good. And they thread in from this side, fortunately. So, fast forward this. Alright, so this is them with all 4 wheels on. It looks pretty good. I like it. I don't know if you can see it, but So you can kind of see here, when I push the frame down to the floor, these two wheels are touching, but these wheels are still floating. So you can see that the rocker is definitely still spinning this wheel. You can see the rocker there in effect. Wheel is still spinning. Like I said, from what I understand, it's only a 1 millimeter difference, so it's not too crazy. You're not gonna feel like you're falling backwards. So this is what it looks like with 4x90. You can see the gap between the wheels. I don't know how many millimeters that is, but they're pretty close. I saw that, I think when Lino set him up, he had 110s, the 100 setup, and the wheels were really close. But yeah, that's a small gap. It's pretty good. All right, let's see what this looks like as a 110 setup. So we're gonna set this frame up with the 110s just so you can see what they look like. So I normally specifically use hydrogen wheels, but today I'm actually using swells. Like I said, I put this together last second just so I can have it ready, and I ordered whatever was there. So let's set these up. So this is the 110 setup. I mean, yeah, 110 by 3. So the first thing you're gonna notice, or what I notice, is that the gap between the wheels is quite large, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but as far as the way this frame is gonna feel, it's definitely gonna feel more like a speed skating frame, because if you've ever used speed skating frames, the gap between the wheels are quite large. So I find that most tri-skates now, so they kind of want you to be maneuverable, so what they do is they squish all the wheels together, and I personally believe that this is a bad thing, because you know, the taller something is, the harder it is to balance. You know, proportionally you would want a wider base with it. So they try to keep the same wheelbase, even though the wheels are taller, but technically I feel like they should be spaced out if you really want stability. But the problem is then it's kind of harder to skate them. But these frames, these two setups are very different, so I don't think you would want them to be the same. So the 90 on the top is still pretty big. 90 millimeters is a pretty big setup, but because they're rockered, you're still maneuverable. So if you're gonna do any cool tricks or jumps or gazelles or slides, this is the setup you definitely want. The bottom setup is clearly not meant for that. This is clearly for distance and speed. So the cool thing about this frame is that they've done this before in the past. There are several frames that actually behave this way and have this function, but most of them were UFS. But this is the first in the sense for the standard mount for like free skates. Also, this is the first to combine this slight rocker and the combination of a flat tri-skate. I think this is pretty cool because it's kind of like the Swiss Army frame, you know, one frame that can do several things. So I don't have to be swapping frames, especially if you like one boot. You know, you can stick to that one boot. If you have a good boot, they're generally pretty versatile and you can get away with a lot of things. So this way now, all I like to do is swap out wheels. If anything, this might be a little too much work. I can skate somewhere like far and then carry the set of wheels with me, and then when I'm there, switch into these so I can do some tricks, some slides, some wizard style skating, and then switch back and go back. I guess it defeats it's better than carrying two frames, but the 90 is pretty big. I feel like you can do distance in 90s. I do distance in like 80s, so you know, it's definitely doable. But yeah, so now I just have to put these on my skates and try them out and see what they feel like. So I guess that's it for now. That's my unboxing. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications. We also have a Patreon that you can join, helps with the channel so I can have more reviews like this. I'll see you guys next time.